At this time, I'm going to bring up Deputy Chief Ed Tamba to talk a little bit about some of the background in this case.
Thanks, Chief. This morning, suspect was arrested without incident on the west side and brought to the police headquarters building and is currently being interviewed by members of the Division of Police and the County Prosecutor's Office. As far as all the facts and all the details that led us to this person, we're not going to release those at this time. We just felt that it was very, very important and very prudent for us to get this information out to the community. We've spoken with the family of the victims from East 92nd Street, and we let them know how the investigation was progressing as it progressed over the months, and we wanted to let the community know exactly where we were at with this, and that's one of the reasons we asked the media to be here also. So if anyone has a couple of questions, I'll entertain them at this time, but our information that we're going to provide today is very limited due to the fact that we've secured a lot of evidence that has to be processed, and we're in the process of executing search warrants and collecting more evidence.
When do you think they might be charged? When do you think the person might be charged?
Well, we have a mandate that we have to charge them, within 48 hours. So you could probably say within the next couple of days.
And then you'll have the name of the thing?
Then we'll release the name. We'll have a consultation with the prosecutor's offices, which is what we do routinely.
Can you give us an age or the relationship to this family? How this person would have known the family? Or?
We don't know what the relationship is, and it is an adult. I can tell you that it's an adult male that's been arrested. But as far as relationship with the family or anything, that's yet to be determined through the interview process.
Is this the person who you believe pulled the trigger in this shooting?
Well, that's a good question. We don't know that. We don't know that. What we do know is that we had enough probable cause for us to seek this person and for us to in effect arrest this morning. Very, very complex. We've got 5 individuals that are deceased. We've got a 9-year-old that was shot. The scene was very, very complex one to process, and we've got a lot of evidence to go through. So as far as actually who pulled the trigger, that's yet to be determined.
Motive?
So do you believe there are other suspects?
There could be. Mark, when we look at something like this, we've got one suspect, so we're hoping during that interview process or during the processing of more evidence that if other suspects come to light or even other conspirators or anybody that knew anything, we'd like to definitely talk to them. So
when you spoke with the family, if you could share with us, what was the reaction to knowing that there is an arrest in this case, although there isn't any charges as of yet?
Well, I have to tell you, I'm going to have to defer that question. I notified our community relations director. That's who we work through along with our violent crimes task force. We keep them updated on all of our homicides and the status of all of them. And what we like to do is we do like to reach out to the family first to let them know. So I couldn't tell you what their reaction was, but just knowing how involved they were in the community and how involved they were with seeking justice, I'm sure they're satisfied to a point, but we've got a long way to go yet. Take one more. Go ahead.
Does the person you all arrested have any kind of criminal history, any interaction with police?
Yes, he did, and we'll let you know. We'll let you know about that also at the time of charging. Right now, we're not going to release any of that. I'll take one more question. Go ahead.
Sir, one final question for you. You guys talked about the specifics of trying to wrap this whole investigation up. You deal with stuff like this on a daily basis. Emotionally, just talk about the fact that it's difficult to relay the information to the family from even working the case.
Well, I could tell you, emotionally and on a personal level, it affected all of us here. The chief, the mayor, everybody. We had a horrendous, tragedy with the loss of life and a 9-year-old girl being shot, in the chest, in one of our neighborhoods across the city. So we try to engage community relations along with our violent response task force, and we let the detectives do their job, and we try to keep, we keep the family informed as much as we can. The people that are left behind are the most vulnerable And, so we do try to, try to keep them in the loop. But it's very emotional for everybody, and I can only imagine how it is, this young lady has to grow up without her mom and, her family members. Like I said, if everyone goes back to that day in November, they remember how, how brutal and how tragic it was. But this is a process. I know you've heard that a lot, but this is the first step. It's a good first step for us. It's a really good first step for the community. So as this progresses within the next couple days, through our public information office, we will update you, and if any other suspects or any other information comes available, we'll provide that to our public information.
The mayor's here.
Thanks.
The mayor's here. Is there something that you wanted to say, Mayor? or-